we get a co-chairman going forward. So if we want to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is a public meeting, so we are opening it up to citizen comments, which there's no one here, so we'll close that. I wanted to go right off the bat, I wanted to go down to other real quick. We just need to choose a co-chairman, a chairman to oversee this committee, and it's you three, so do we have any volunteers?
I'll volunteer.
Okay. Do we have a second, I guess? We have to go.
We'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I forgot this is televised.
All right. First thing I wanted to do is review the CM at risk process. If you look in front of you, it's this little diagram. This is what Skanska has created. It's in line with the state procurement laws. The first one is submit the application, CM at risk, to the general inspectors, or the Office of Inspector General, which we've done. I have spoken to them at the end of last week. The application has unofficially been approved. We should be getting a letter of approval at some point next week. So we are going to go ahead and start moving forward. We've established a pre-qualification subcommittee, which is us here tonight. And let's see, Auburn's team needs to make sure that procedures are in place to ensure fairness and completeness during the procurement process, which we are doing. And we're preparing and advertising a RFQ. We wanted to stop at that point. We can come back there. The next page you've got in front of you is the construction manager's selection timeline. On July the 30th, we'll be submitting RFQ advertisements. Your advertisements are the last couple of pages at the end of this packet that I've already created for the Central Register, the Compass, and the local papers. And also one that will be posted at Town Hall, which is also required by law. We'll have to advertise for a minimum of 2 weeks. The advertisement will go from August the 6th through the 20th. On the 21st, we're going to set up a tour here on site for all the interested contractors to come out here, ask questions, see plans, and kind of give them an update of this process. And on August the 29th, we're going to have an RFQ, which is due back from these contractors. Once we receive the RFQs from August the 30th through September the 5th, us as a subcommittee will be evaluating the RFQs and pre-qualifying or approving the construction managers if they're qualified to go or to continue with this process. Those that are not approved, we'll inform them. Those that are approved, we will inform them also, and on September the 6th, we will distribute an RFP, not an RFQ. It's a mistype. The RFP pre-qualifications will go out on, like I said, on September the 6th. That'll give them a couple of weeks, at which point the RFPs will be back or due back to us on September the 23rd. We'll have a very short period to evaluate and rank the CM firms. We will choose 3 to 4 CM firms, go to the school building committee, present it to them. If they approve them, then I will contact these few CM firms and set up interviews, at which point we will have them come in on the interviews on October the 8th in front of the school building committee, and at that point we will select a construction manager to go under contract or start negotiations in hopes of going under contract, and with the goal of getting a contract awarded by October the 16th. The RFQ is the next packet that's going out. This is a RFQ that I have created. It is in line with the state procurement laws and the information that is required through DCAM and everything else. This is what we will be distributing to the construction managers that are interested in going through this process, and this is what they will be submitting back to us for us to rank them with. Your next page is just a little subsection that's pulled out of that RFQ. It's the construction management statement of qualifications, the evaluation criteria. That's what the criteria we will be using to make sure that these construction management firms are qualified to go into the request for proposal, the RFP process. And then your next pages, which looks like this, is actually how we will be going through their RFQs and ranking them, or making sure that they do meet the minimum requirements to go forward in the process. Back onto the schedule, evaluating the statements of qualifications. I've already discussed that with you. Establishing a selection committee. Again, I went through that with you also. Preparing the RFP is the next thing. I have started the request for proposals. However, Auburn is still in the process of selecting a contract. Without that contract, I cannot continue any further until I receive that. The RFP will actually be about 3 times the size of this RFQ, with the information and the request for their pricings and, you know, their financial statements and everything like that. Once I get that contract from Auburn, I will be creating this RFP, and we'll be going through that or looking at it if you have any questions and moving forward. The next one, each CM and risk firm proposals must include the price and technical components, and these are the components that are included in this RFQ that's in front of you. And then receive, evaluate, and rank the proposals, which again I've already gone through again with you. The evaluation criteria and how we'll go about it on making sure they meet those criteria. Negotiating non-fee contract terms, selected proposer, and awarding the contract. We do have that option, which we have elected to do as the school building committee, to go through the interview process. So, although that is not on this diagram, that is an option that is given to you legally through the state of Massachusetts. And then the last pages, which I referred to in this packet, are the awarding authority or project information that'll go into your different advertisements. That's what you're looking at here. So if you wanted to take a few minutes and go through all these documents, or breeze through them, kind of get an idea or feeling of them, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to discuss them with you, or if you're a little confused about what the process is and how these all work or interrelate with each other, I'll be happy to talk you through it.
I got one question. So, DCAM certified and all that stuff, you'll be putting the package together for us?
Correct.
You'll
If
be
you're
giving us the number? You'll be giving us the qualified vendors?
Well, part of the request for qualifications, this part, they actually, there's some sheets in here that they have to go back to DCAM and prove to us that they are pre-qualified subcontractors to do work for public jobs through DCAM. So that will be a part of their submission that will come back to us with the RFQ, excuse me.
Now, like bonding limits and bonding aggregate, does that all come back at the same time?
That is all in here correctly. I think the requirements in this, that they have to be able to do 110% of the, be able to bond 110% of the estimated construction costs. And actually, if you look at the end of the RFQ that I've given to you, there are quite a few schedules. Project sustainability design, MBE, WE, workforce compliance records. They have to submit all of that. Any terminations of legal proceedings that they've had in the past amount of years. Similar project experiences, and there should be something in here. Let's see if I can find it. Safety records. Financial statements, bonding capacity, certificate of eligibility. I do know it's in here.
Because it's a state project, is there a WBE, MBE
Yes.
participation?
Yes, there is.
What is that?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's approximately around 10% divided into like 7 and 3, 7 point something and 3 point something equaling 10.
Does this have to go through an approval process with SBA?
No. No.
So it's pretty much it's in our hands at this point.
Correct.
They've made their award, and
I'm sorry?
they've made their award as far as...
Right. Now it's up to Auburn to select who you feel is the most qualified.
In the end, they do a final process through the state?
At the end of the project, they'll do an audit on the entire but again, MSBA isn't now that we're going to construction out of this process. Just yesterday, Katie DeCristofano and Chris Isles, who's been the project managers overseeing this, are stepping back, and 2 new people are now taking over for MSBA who are more familiar with the construction process. And they'll be there every step of the way, from reviewing pay applications to making sure, doing site visits, things like that.
Okay.
Yes, and there is a section in here talking about DCAM certificate of eligibility that they'll have to provide. Page 11 and 12. Bottom of page, very bottom of page 11 through all of 12. I think probably one of the main things I wanted everyone to be comfortable with is the schedule. I'm trying to give a minimum of 2 weeks to the contractors to make sure that they have time to review their responsibilities, to review the project, to get a good understanding of the project, and to create their submissions to us. However, trying to keep us on schedule, I have limited our ability to go through that, where I may only be giving us a week. But I feel that that's probably, bear down, get it done and over with, and move forward. I want you all to be conscious of that and be comfortable with the dates.
Dates seem fine to me.
Yeah, that's very good.
So, if you guys are comfortable with this, I'd like to go ahead and get these advertisements to Superintendent Mary Ellen and to the Julie Jacobson, and get these things moving so that we get the advertisements out as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. Do we need a motion for that, or do we just do that?
I think I can just do that as long as we're all comfortable with it.
Absolutely.
So, good.
Sure.
Okay. So then, outside of all of this, if you have any other questions or things, remember you're going to have to tell a little bit of the story tonight to the school building committee next Tuesday. So if there's anything I can help you with, you're not sure, just let me know.
Just be here next Tuesday.
Okay. Your report is, Mr. Needler, can you stand?
There you go. Any questions?
Can you tell us what we did?
He'll tell you all about
Yeah. I agree with what Paul said. Okay. Well, then it was short and sweet tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Do we need to make another meeting for this committee? Or do we want to wait?
I would
till-
wait until the school building committee, make sure they're all on board with all this too, and once we start getting these, the 2 weeks and stuff, and I can see we'll set up a time on what's good for everyone.
Okay.
It would probably be, the next meeting for us would be when the RFQs come in. And at that point, we'll set up a meeting, I'll bring in a big thing of Joe and donuts, and we're gonna be here for a couple hours, but.
I like double chocolate.
Oh, okay. Let me write that down. Put that in the meeting minutes.
Okay, so we're looking at about the first week of September then.
Yes. Correct. Evaluate September, yeah,
Okay.
And to do on the 23rd, right? So
correct. So August the 30th through September the 5th is when we'll be reviewing them. So August the 29th, when the RFQs come in, I'll be dividing them up, making copies, separating, and creating packages for all of us to go through.
Okay,
All righty?
very good. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.